for tonight's discussion. So those of you who had missed the IRMA analysis can access it from our class apart portal. And okay, so the Rajat will be taking today IIFT webinar. And let me tell you guys, I am really not good at GK. When it comes to GK, I'm really not good. But just 2 days back, I attended the session of and from that I got around 10 questions in the paper today. Today I session. Try as much as you can extract from the gentleman. This is really one of the best guy in the industry when it comes to GK. Okay, Rajat, over to you. You can start the session.
Hello. Hello, Rajat. All of you can hear me?
Rajat, you are audible.
Yes, fine. Okay, fine. Then we can start the session. I hope आज एग्जाम अच्छा हुआ होगा आप लोगों का. Most of you must have gone through the IRMA. Hello, Arpit.
For any
Hello, Arpit. I can't hear you exactly.
And for any journal query, you can tell me.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Rajat, you are audible.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so let's start. Yes, Arpit, if you want, you can start. Yes, Arpit.
Rajat, just a second. For any academic query, please type in the chat box, and for any general query, for any academic query, please use the Q&A box, and for any general query, please use the chat box. Thank you, Rajat. You can start.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Hello, everyone. We saw IRMA session 2 days back and 4 days back. Now we move on from IRMA to IIFT. IRMA is over now. I hope ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों का अच्छा हुआ होगा, and of course best of luck for your results now. LS exams के लिए best of luck था, अब results के लिए best of luck. Hope all of you come out with flying colors. Of course सबके सब नहीं पास हो पाते हैं, ये तो थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया, लेकिन फिर भी आई होप कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग आप लोग क्लियर कर जाओ. बट कंसर्निंग अबाउट जीके सेक्शन, ऑफ कोर्स थोड़ा इजी था. चलो अच्छा है, ज्यादा लोग को इजी लगा. ऐसा लगता है कि हम लोग ने बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाया था तभी ज्यादा लोग को इजी लगा. होपफुली ऐसा ही हो, बट लेट्स सी व्हाट इज द फाइनल रिजल्ट. ओके, so moving on to IIFT, let's not waste a lot of time. The IRMA session, we had a webinar some hours back and all of it was discussed. And now let's move on to IIFT. From Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, another prestigious college in this country which offers management and which is related to foreign trade. So a lot of us actually hope to qualify this examination. It is big and it has certain questions which are certainly different from IRMA area. Then again, for others, now lot of questions are coming. I would say that there will be some time given at the end of the session, and we'll discuss all of it. And if you don't get any answer, I also give you the email ID. And I hope most of you get the answers within 24 hours. I had personally emailed to most of you about the second seminar and the PPT regarding second seminar. So just questions, leave the questions for the last. And let's move on to IIFT session. Let's see some of the questions. Let's see the mode of preparation. And of course, आपके जो बाकी doubts हैं, we'll certainly handle that. And we have enough time for IIFT right now. We have 13 days, so just do not be in a hurry. For IRMA, we had just 2 to 4 days. So of course there was a need of urgency, and there was a sense of urgency. For IIFT, I don't think it is the case. So we start with IIFT webinar. In all the session, how the session will flow, we'll see some of the strategy. Of course, this is first session of IIFT, so I will take strategy for around 15 to 20 minutes, and then we will move on to the question part. And in the second session, of course, we'll have the strategy of not more than 5 to 10 minutes, and then we will all move on to a question part. So let's start with some of our objectives, and we hit the session. Now, aim of the session, अब जैसे आप लोग सीरियल देखो ना, सीरियल में शुरू होने से पहले एक बार दिखाता है कि इस धारावाहिक में ये होगा, तो लेट्स सी इस धारावाहिक में ये होगा. The session is designed to optimize students' performance in IIFT entrance exam through GK section. So when you know the cutoff, you know basic details of IIFT, I presume that we will not discuss that again. IIFT में इतना मार्क्स यहाँ से आता है, इतना मार्क्स वहाँ से आता है. We just focus on the GK session. So in all, the session is designed to optimize students' performance in IIFT entrance exam through GK section. To make understand the value of GK section and help them to increase score by analysis of previous year questions, understanding the areas of importance, practicing new questions based on previous year papers. To add value to the students' general knowledge. In all, just to make you aware of more things that are happening these days, just to make you aware of the things that are actually going on, and in all give you food for thought so that you can use that knowledge in the examination, and that can process through your mind, and you can of course answer maximum questions that you can. So in all, सीधी सी बात, जीके के ज्यादा से ज्यादा फैक्ट्स दिमाग में रखो, फैक्ट्स ज्यादा होंगे दिमाग में. The more you have in the head, more is food for thought, more you will answer. That's simple. It's not math, it's not reasoning, it's more of a fact-based questions. I said it earlier also, you know it or you don't know it. बहुत ज़्यादा दिमाग लगाने की इसमें जरूरत नहीं होती है. We just read 10 seconds. आता है, mark कर दिया, नहीं आता है, move on to the next question. And yes, there are certain questions where logic is there. We'll also discuss that in some of the questions. Discussion of previous year papers, national international organizations, business GK, discussion of current affairs. This will be the session. Now, flow of 2 sessions. Just a look. Session 1, that is today that is going on. To throw some light on the key areas. कौन से areas आप pick करो? Very important, according to me, this is very important for MBA preparation, because MBA preparation is very different from other regular examination preparation where general studies or GK is there, from UPSC papers or papers of 12th class level, but it is completely different. And the most difficult part in MBA GK is that for different examinations, it has certain different sections which are important to the examination. But most of the UPSC papers or state services or public services papers have general common trend. But in MBA sense, they have very different trend. In many of the papers, they yes. Okay. I lost the voice just for few seconds. Now, repeating that again. So in MBA, I was telling about the difficulty that in MBA, you have different sections important for different examinations. I repeat again, for IRMA, we remember issues of social concern. For IIFT, different thing is there. Foreign trade is the key. Foreign trade के around ही जो चीज रिवॉल्व होती है वो पढ़ना है. ये नहीं कि जनरल नॉलेज में जो भी आता हो, जो भी बुक्स में दिया हो, सब कुछ उठा के अपने दिमाग में डाल लेना. I still say in general knowledge is ocean wide. There is no start, there is no end. Point is, but there can be selection. हम select करें क्या पढ़ना है और हमें reject करना भी पता होना चाहिए कि हमें क्या नहीं पढ़ना है. Because आखिर in the end our head has a limited space. तो वैसे साइंटिस्ट बताते हैं कि हमारे हेड में 4 टेराबाइट स्पेस होती है, बट लिमिटेड है. 4 टेराबाइट में सारी जिंदगी आनी है, पूरी जिंदगी के अपने रिश्तेदारियां भी निभानी है, अपनी जिंदगी भी चलानी है और जीके एग्जाम्स भी निकालने हैं, एमबीए एग्जाम्स भी निकालने हैं. सो इतना ज्यादा दिमाग में हमें नहीं डालना है जो कि वेस्टेज हो. सो दिस विल बी आवर सेशन 1. Overall discussion of 50 examples from previous year papers and discussion of 15 fresh questions of current significance. Now for this session, we'll have 50 examples from previous year papers and 15 current questions. So in all 65 questions that we will practice today. And for session 2, we have 90 fresh questions and we have 20 examples from previous year papers. So in all, taking two papers together, we'll provide you a total of 175 questions. Out of that, 145 questions will be discussed. In that, around 75 questions will be freshly discussed and 30 questions will also be provided so that you can take it home for practice. We'll just put it on the slides. So in all, very important, first session, we'll build up the theme of IIFT. We'll move ahead with the data. पिछले साल के papers हम देखेंगे, we'll see that, and then we'll move on to session 2, where we'll have a lot of fresh questions from the current affairs and the things that are connected to IIFT that we'll see in today's session. Now GK and NBA, as I said earlier, 1 mark in QA is 1 mark in English is 1 mark in GK. I'll just repeat that again. We'll complete this slide in 1 minute. Most of the candidates prepare intensively for QA and English but give less time to GK. Average time taken to solve each GK question is the least. It takes approximately 30 seconds for each GK question. So remember that, very, very important. So less effort is needed to score better in GK. As cutoffs are generally low in GK, it helps in improving overall marks. As I said many times earlier, GK में cutoff काफी कम होती है हमेशा, and we just need to answer sensibly many of the questions. Questions are fact-based or questions are logic-based. Fact-based questions 3-4 ऐसे जरूर होते हैं जो आपको guaranteed आते होंगे, और 3-4 questions are 3-4 questions from logic can be applied to sort out the answers. So in all 7-8 questions are there in the paper which are always gifted. Beyond that we have to use your sense. We have to use our sense. In all 7 to 8 questions can be easily answered. और overall होता क्या है, कट ऑफ इतनी कम होती है कि हमें इतनी we don't have a big problem in going further. So overall, एक sensible approach आपको आराम से दूसरी तरफ ले जा सकती है and we can actually score well. Now score well is like कि quantitative aptitude और English में we have already used our best of our potential. So what happens is कि उसमें scope improve करने का बहुत ही कम रहता है. There is very little space to improve. In GK, most of you are not poor in GK. You are actually not aware of the things because you have never worked hard in GK. QA और English में आप लोग इतनी मेहनत कर देते हैं कि GK section we generally don't give enough time. So overall idea is give decent time to it so that you can prepare just about the things and go into the exam. What will happen? कि जो लोग generally कम time देते हैं, they actually score close to less marks. That is just clear cut off. Now it's easy to make lead here. It's not very easy to go far ahead in QA and DI section, in the reasoning section or English section. Then, now GK with respect to IIFT. As I repeated, as I said, as GK is so vast, it is not possible to learn everything. Pick areas according to exam. Now, please be a bit attentive here. As IIFT specializes in training managers in the area of foreign trade, so key focus must be on the areas related to foreign trade. Now, issues of social concern, rural management, भूल जाओ ये सब. Most of the things that are related to foreign trade should be taken care of. ये नहीं कि कुछ भी political आया. Some say that political कुछ भी US में हो रहा है, political कुछ भी India में हो रहा है. Just read it because it is a part of GK. I strongly reject that. You see the questions that have come earlier. Questions are focused around some areas. You have to study that. You have to learn that. Do not learn anything in GK. ये नहीं कि कुछ भी GK में आ गया दिमाग में रख लिया. So you can say that yes, I have completed some of the areas. I strongly reject those areas because those areas which are not relevant to particular examination. Be wise in selection as well as rejection of the material. If you have 10 questions, it doesn't mean you have to read all those 10 questions because there are high chances that 3 or 4 would be meaningless. You cannot read areas, you must not read from the areas which are not in the examination. Now, which areas you must see? Just have a look on the slide. Foreign trade. Now, foreign trade is related to which of the areas? Related sectors like transportation, trade. Transportation very important because transportation is linked to फॉरेन ट्रेड वेरी वेरी क्लोजली. फॉरेन ट्रेड को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए ट्रांसपोर्टेशन की बहुत अच्छी जरूरत होती है. ट्रेड पॉलिसीज वगैरह जो भी, इफ यू हियर अबाउट एनीथिंग अबाउट ट्रेड, certainly act to it. Anything which helps in boosting foreign trade. Coming to issue number 2. Government schemes to improve foreign trade agreements with countries. Now, what again to improve foreign trade? Foreign trade से related क्या होता है? Government schemes which are being given by the government of India to promote foreign trade in the country are very very important. I tell you again, foreign trade is the key. Anything related to foreign trade is very very important and is the ideal thing to read about. Foreign trade. So point number one number is transportation trade, which helps in boosting foreign trade. Transportation trade is very important for transportation sector especially. Transportation में just think about airports, roadways and railways. Very very important. And ports, I say, are very very important. The sea ports are very important because 90% of India's foreign trade are carried through our ports, through our major ports. Then second part is certainly government schemes to improve foreign trade agreements with countries. Government do focus on the areas where government is working hard to improve foreign trade. I tell you, one important material for this is Economic Survey of India. Economic Survey of India has one chapter related to foreign trade and India's relation with the world in the trade areas. So one chapter that is only 30-40 pages. If you can get the 2011-12 last year's economic survey given by Government of India, they have a chapter on it, full chapter on it. So that will be very very important. It will have all the data. And the precise form of it is also given in many of the magazines. Pratyogita Darpan had also released, Chronicle had also released. So you just have to go through that 30-40 pages of the economic survey. Economic survey is very very important concerning point 2. Then third point is MNCs and firms related to Indian and major international markets. But do not read about anything. Do not read about anything that you can see. ये नहीं कि किसी भी कंट्री के बारे में, किसी भी कंपनी के बारे में दिख रहा है तो हमने वो पढ़ लिया. Just see if it is related to foreign trade of India, concerning primarily India, or is this MNC an important global firm? If it is an important global firm, then that should be the point. So overall, these are the areas. Major organizations related to foreign trade and international business or finance. Now, people read about major organizations. So what to read in major organizations? There are thousands of organizations in the world. NATO is there, CFCO is there, IMF is there, WTO is there, World Bank is there. Which one to read about? Now, if you are going to read 100 or 200 of it, it's certainly going to be a mess in your head. So in all, what I want to say is related to international trade or finance, international business, these things are the areas which are related to foreign trade. Example, WTO, MF, certainly very, very important. WTO, IMF, World Bank are certainly, these are very important. Then go for free trade agreement areas, NAFTA or SAFTA, such organizations. Then go for such organizations which have a trade areas. Do not go for military organizations. Do not go for majorly political organizations. BRICS, people talk a lot about BRICS. BRICS is still today its more color is in political areas, not in the economic areas. NATO has more effect in the military areas, not in the economic areas. OECD has in the economic areas. You must go for OECD, but not read much about NAT or NATO. So overall idea is relevant thing. My idea is overall relevant thing. So in all, we just have to be focused on the relevant thing. So overall, I sorted out these 4 things which are related to foreign trade areas. So you must be aware of the things. Again, apart from this, use your wisdom. Use your wisdom for selecting the material which is relevant to be a question related to foreign trade. It must be related to somewhere related to our trade of India, especially trade of India, and of course if it is related to international trade also, it may be important. So these 4 categorizations I have found that these can be related to foreign trade areas, seeing the questions in the previous year papers. Now next, GK-1of3 further. Broadly, questions can be classified in the following areas: current affairs and general awareness, areas mentioned in the slide above. So overall, in the last slide that we have seen, current affairs and general awareness questions are mostly inspired from the topics that we have seen in the last slide. Mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and acquisitions, certainly very, very important. We see a number of questions from these areas. Then major brands, of course, major brands that have a significant, यानी कि कोई भी major brands हम इंडिया में दिल्ली में भी सुन रहे हो या बॉम्बे में ही सुन रहे हो, लोकल ब्रांड हो, we just read about it and read एक पूरी PhD ready कर दी उस पे. Of course not that. Something which has a global presence, something which is a part of the trade around the world, something which actually affects some of the foreign lands. Then authors and books, certainly. Now, well, authors and books, I don't say is strictly related to foreign trade. I've seen many questions of authors and books, but it is generally inspired from the current affairs knowledge. So authors and books, recently, last 3 to 6 months, do read that. I just say that from last 1 to 6 months, जो भी books market में out है, and the authors and any significant book, especially by some of the celebrities in the sense, some people who are actually popular around the world. Maybe political leader, maybe a business leader, maybe a trade leader. So in all, a senior bureaucrat, in all such people can be easily seen. Now, so GK in IIFT, just have a look. What was the area? The area gave weightage to 8, 12 and 10.5% of marks in the last year's paper. So, अगर इसमें से 50% भी निकल जाए, it's a very, very good mark, and it will give you certainly 2 to 3% lead from a just qualified person. So just have a look. We won't spend much time here because it has already been taken in the intro IIFT session. Next, some tips to solve. In all, read the question slowly as it contains some keywords which have answers. Sort the options to solve many questions. Rejecting the options is a very handy tool. Many times you can get the answer by rejecting the options. So just do not think if you just don't know about the question you cannot solve. Just go into it and see if options can be rejected. If you are not getting any clue in 4-5 questions, do not panic. It's common with all. All of us will be going through a phase where we just don't get 3-4 continuous questions. So when it happens, you just don't panic that your GK is going to bring you down today. Read all the questions. And one thing very important, do not leave GK for the last of the time. I generally say this because GK is the section which actually takes very less time. So try to use it between 2 lengthy sessions of reasoning and quantitative aptitude. Between these sessions generally you can put in, because quant will eat your head to some extent. So after that, give a rest to your head, just move on there, then move on to the reasoning section. Then overall, suggested material for IIFT GK, must read the following for IIFT GK. Questions related to trade from magazine like Pratyogita Darpan and Management Compass, at least last 6 months. Flashback is there, BizBuzz is there, question bank, current and business. Jandhara 100% IIFT GK compendium, and I have told you, the link has also been given to you that the chapter which concerns foreign trade should be read. In that, a number of statistics is given. I see many a time statistics also come regarding foreign trade. So these things can be taken together. Overall, this is the whole idea and strategy that I wanted to focus on. All of you, just remember some of the hardcore lines that I wanted to say. Selection and rejection both are important. Just don't go and read anything. Read judiciously. Reject judiciously. Both the sections have to be seen. Then, while attempting the question, try to solve many questions by seeing the answers also. Read the question for 10 seconds. Read it quietly. Just do not rush through. Many a times we miss the keywords. So what happens? We miss the questions. So overall, sometimes use your common sense and then move on to the options, reject the options, And of course, many of the questions you can certainly answer as there are sitters in there. So let's move on to session 1. I again say the session 1 will have the following things. That is a discussion of around 50 examples and 15 fresh questions of current significance. And session 2, remember, we'll have around 90 questions, 90 fresh questions, 60 and 30, and of course 20 questions from previous year. So in all, 110 questions for the next session. Out of that, 80 will be discussed, and today we will discuss around 65 questions. So let's move on to start the questions. Now, IIFT GK 2009. Arcelor acquired by Mittal Steel was formed by merger of which of the following three companies? Let's see if you can answer. Yes, all of you. Come on. We have started to get answers. Yes, very good. अभी थोड़ा धीमे स्टार्ट हुआ है. अभी पता है थोड़ा सर्दी है पूरे नॉर्थ इंडिया में, सो अभी धीमे धीमे टाइप हो रहा होगा. अभी स्पीड आएगी थोड़ी देर में, थोड़ी गर्मी आएगी तब. Yes, I could see more than 200 participants and I have got around 25 answers only, and yes, all of you should participate. You know, one thing, very important thing of participation is, once you participate, once you type the answer, you will not forget it. That is a very important thing. If you type the answer, you will not forget it. So, all of you try to participate. It will give you exposure. Yes, we have a lot of answers coming. अच्छा देखो, अब लोगों को लगा कि याद हो जाएगा अच्छे से, तो तुरंत आंसर दे देते हैं. Okay, fine. So, Arcelor, कई लोग हिंट सोच रहे होंगे कि आर्सेल प्लस लूसिनोर, आर्सेलर, आर्सेल प्लस OR हो जाएगा यहाँ से, बट आई डोंट थिंक सो. दैट विल बी, दैट इज द आंसर, बट द करेक्ट आंसर इज C. Arbeid, Arcelia and Usinor. So overall, this question, correct answer is C. Yes. So, well, this is a factual question. Do not just ponder around that you can answer it by using some of the logic. In such questions, you know it or you don't know it. Correct answer is C. Let's see question number 2. Question number 2 has a hint. Question number 2 has a hint. Select the correct author book match. Now, I just want a hint. My point is, one easy point is there. One easy point is there. What is the easiest point in this? What is the easiest point in this? Yes, a lot of you are giving the correct answer. And yes, let's see what is let's see. I give you 10 seconds more to all of the students. I get many answers. Let's see which one is correct. One of the option was very, very easy, and that was the key to this question. Yes, good. A lot of you are answering. Very good. Those who are not able to get, still try to sort it out. इनमें से एक book का नाम बहुत ही common है, which has been heard, which was covered by the newspapers also. So that was the key in the options. Many of you have given the correct answer. Yes, APJ Abdul Kalam, A Vision for the New Millennium. That was very easy. And again, Nandan Nilekani by Imagining India. So in all, D4 was a very good thing because option was sorted out because of the D option. So it was an easy question actually. Though it was tough, I say, because most of the questions, all the four options would not be known by any of the students don't know all the four options, but this option is one which can be easily connected. So D4 was the key in this question. Let's see question number 3. The company Fem Care Pharma Limited, the manufacturer of Fem bleach, was acquired by. Now this question was 2 years back, so just do not worry about this, that if you don't know these days, but just have an idea that it was acquired by a very common Indian company, Dabur India Limited. Such questions do not miss. Do not miss such questions. Such data should not be missed. Dabur India Limited is a common Indian name. So just have a focus on the areas where common Indian companies have acquired something in the last 12 months. So that is very, very important in such papers. So let's see question number 4. Which is the correct stock index country match? Very easy question. थोड़ा आप लोग मुझे माफ कर दीजिएगा क्योंकि मेरी राइटिंग इसमें बहुत अच्छी हो रही है. Easy looks Casey. Okay, so let us make it E. Which one is that? Now, which is common? Hang Seng, Hong Kong was the key in the answer, and yes, many of you have given correct. Then again, Nasdaq is to United States. Nasdaq is to United States. What is the speciality of Nasdaq? What is the speciality of Nasdaq? Many of you have answered it correct, but let me check. What is the speciality of Nasdaq? What is the speciality of Nasdaq? Nobody is able to answer. International companies included. Of course, this is an international market. Most popular stock exchange. Highest capital is involved. Nasdaq is the oldest. Now, I still did not get a correct answer. Now, most important point of Nasdaq is Nasdaq has only technology stocks. It has been made especially for the technology sector companies. It is not the largest in the world. It is second largest in the world. Largest in the world is Dow Jones, which is in New York. Dow Jones, DOWJONES. Dow Jones. Now, FTSE goes to South Korea and FTSE comes to United Kingdom. So, point is, question was very easy because Hang Seng to Hong Kong and Nasdaq to US. Nasdaq. Now, a question was coming. Many questions are coming. I would say you can, of course, wait for the last session. But of course, if the question is related to the question that is present, well, still we can answer. But I heard NSE was largest in terms of equity trade. No, NSE is largest only in India. In India, NSE is largest in terms of equity trade and not in the world. In the world, market capitalization of the stock exchanges in Western countries and in US is far more than Indian trading volume. It's far more than, it's more than 10 times higher. Dow Jones is actually around 22 times more than our Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. So do not compare Indian markets with the world markets. They are still very ahead, most of the Western markets. The question was related to stock index and country. Now, that's in front of you. Which is the correct legal act and jurisdiction method? Match. Now, point is again, see the words in the question and you can sort out the answer. See the words in the question, you can sort out the answer. I know most of you must have not heard about the acts. Even I had not heard about all these 4 acts when I was attempting the question. But I could still answer it. Yes, we can see some of the things. Prohibition of anti-competitive agreements by Competition Act, maybe. External trade and payments. This is related to what? FEMA. FEMA is what? This is Foreign Exchange Management Act. SEBI. SEBI is related to markets, which is certainly related to investors. Yes, so I could see many of you are actually coming out with some of the aids. So very, very important. So such things can be used in the questions to solve difficult. Then question number 6. Match the president, country and currency. Now I give you a hint. Just do not see on the first line. You can see on the country and currency area. Country and currency area. Forget about this area. Even without this, question can be answered. Question is certainly very, very easy. Yes, of course. Sarkozy is to France, and France, then Russia is certainly to ruble, Uganda is to shilling. So question is easy, but there was still a wrong point in this. The dollar is still not used in either Germany or France. Both of them is euro. This is also euro. At that time, the question was thought to be wrong. So, just country and currency can be equated together and the answer could be sorted out. Well, a question is, Germany is not the part of euro. No, Germany is very well the part of euro. And right now it is the most important country of eurozone because it is holding the surplus of the whole European Union. Now, if still you don't have a point, Nicolas Sarkozy is very easy, which can be connected to France. Horst Kohler, a bit tough. And one more point, Yoweri Museveni. Such names are not common in Europe. Such names are still common in Africa. So just linking with Uganda can still be a smart choice by many of us. So linking Yoweri Museveni to Uganda can still be a smart choice. So question comes, France currency, euro or franc? It's euro. France is very well into euro. Franc has been abolished since 1990. So, I hope you must be remembering the famous beauty of France, Carla Bruni also. So, अगर Nicolas Sarkozy नहीं याद रहता तो Carla Bruni से भी France mark कर सकते हैं. So, not a very difficult question then, certainly. Coming to question number 7. Select the option which has all wrong explanations of the abbreviation. Tough question. It's not an easy question. Difficult. Which of the following options are not equated to the other side? So not only one of them is not correct, there are many options which are answer to the question. Let me answer that for you. You can check back at home. 2, 3, 5 and 9. 9, many of you have said yes, 9 is certainly wrong. So 2, 3, 5 and 9. For such questions, I still tell you it's not very important to or compulsory to attempt all the questions. So do not get panic if you are not knowing such questions. But I would still appreciate if you can answer the question. But there are high chances that such questions sometimes are not answered by most of us. So good if you can attempt, not bad if you cannot answer that correctly. Question number 8. Who among the following was not nominated by Government of India on the board of Sattam Computer Services? Now, before answering that, Sattam Computer Services was very much in the market, very much famous in the market because of a scandal. So point is, idea is, if you don't know the answer of this question today, it doesn't matter because it's not important today. Now, Sattam Computer Services similarly any other company which is continuously hogging the limelight today or continuously hogging the headlines today or since last 6 to 12 months, you must certainly be aware of something basic that can be. Yes, Kingfisher is one among them. Kingfisher is certainly in the limelight. So something related to Kingfisher can be a possible thing. Like suppose there were many banks involved with Kingfisher in providing its loan. So there was a whole report about this. Then there are certain acts which can ban Kingfisher from flying. So what are those acts? Some 2-3 acts you can remember. You can just go to Google. So point is related to areas. Not now. Kingfisher acquisition, point is it has just happened 3 days back, and I guess it will not be featuring in the examination. But still, for the time being, you can actually remember the name of the company and the company, the origin of the company or the country of origin. So just 2 things you can have it, not going very much into it. So point is, such questions do have a focus. If you are not able to answer this, I'm not worried right now, but just many questions from such companies actually may be focused. Now question number 9. Yes, answer of last question, what is that? Answer of last question, what is that? Surikant Balakrishnan Majnak. IIFT GK 2009, question number 9. CDS has been in news recently. What does it stand for? What is that? Collateral default swap, credit demand swap, credit default swap, collateral demand swap. The correct answer is B. Now, recently there was something in the news which is called PN. What is that? PN. What is that? What is PN? PN is participatory notes. It was recently in the news. It's your homework to read about what is participatory notes. Just your homework. Let's see how many of you actually read that. In the next class, I may ask somebody that to answer about what is a participatory note. Of course, it's not regular class. I will not pick you up, but of course you can write it on the screen. Somebody may be quick to answer what is participatory note. Then QFI. What is a QFI? QFI. I have actually marked this answer wrong. Thanks, one of you who actually showed that yes, it is actually credit default swap. In a hurry, I just ticked on credit demand swap. Thanks for correcting me. The correct answer is credit default swap. So in a hurry, I just put it on B. Okay, fine. So answer QFI. What is QFI? Yes, Praveen Arora has certainly given a correct answer. Very good. Qualified foreign investor. Now again, okay, now I can see many of the answers are coming now, right now. Okay, so overall point is, just read who is a qualified foreign investor. Qualified foreign investor, who is that? And in that there will be one thing. FATF. What is FATF? It's a homework for you. Remember what is FATF. Try to find it out on web. What is FATF? It is related to QFI. So it's your homework. Let's see how many of you actually get that. Yeah, some of them are trying foreign anti something. Okay, fine. If you let's see, just try at home. Or you must know that. It is FATF. Of course, it's not a foreign anti. Yeah, Rajat Dhyan has correctly answered. Financial Action Task Force. Many of them are Coming out? Okay, fine. Okay. Very well. So just remember such things. There are certain things which are important. Now, why have I told you about these three abbreviations, but what about many other that we must be knowing? In all, because these are related to trade around the world and financial businesses around the world. So let's move on to next question. Choose the correct match. So on the right you have something being like something that is a major brand, and on the left side you have a company. So what it can be? It's a very, very easy question. Sitter. Sitter. Now, I hope I would not even like to answer the question. Let's see. It's a practice for you. Let's move on to question number 11. Yes, many of you, I say, when I say something, a lot of you start participating. यहाँ पे, of course, it's an important session for you, and the more you participate, the more you will be remembering. Of course, ये भगवान जी का जागरण तो नहीं चल रहा है यहाँ पे कि हम लोग बस खाली जयकारे लगा के घर चले जाएंगे. So overall, my idea is all of you should participate. Click on the answer. Okay. So yes, I would like to see most of the new participants from now. So question number 11. Slogan and the company associated with it. Let's see some new names. Of course, नए नाम आएंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा, और I would not like to say कि लगता है बहुत लोग को नहीं आ रहे हैं questions इतने मुश्किल नहीं है. Questions are not very difficult. काफी नए लोग आने लगे हैं. Good. So, what's the correct answer? Let's make things better. Philips. HP. What is that? For technology you can trust. So, I think it's clear, not very, very difficult question. Microsoft. Your potential, our passion, sponsors of tomorrow, Intel. Not a very difficult question. Move on to question number 12. In the financial year 2008 and 9, the top 3 investing countries in terms of FDI inflows were. Now 2008 and 9. You should not be worried about this now. Now you should be worried about 2011-12. 2011 and 12. Now where to read this from? Read these data from Economic Survey of India. Economic Survey will be very important. Economic Survey has all the details, and if you want a short form of it, Economic Survey, one chapter is very important concerning foreign trade. Then you can also get it in Pratyogita Darpan. They release one shorter version of it. Don't go for the whole issue. If you are trying to read all of the parts, it will be very, very difficult. It will be very, very difficult. So it's very lengthy. And if you have it, when you take that, if you are unable to sort out the areas, just mail it to me, that which area or which section or which page. I will just see the book with me, and I'll just mail it to you. And there is a special issue of Pratyogita Darpan regarding economic affairs or economic survey. So just do not concern about which month or which year. Every year they release one special issue of economics. Literature economics, and do check that it is of this year, because there are many such books in the market, many of them published of the last years. So check if the published data is of this year. So kindly check 2011 and 12 should be the data. So it was question number. So this at that time the correct answer was Mauritius, Singapore, and USA. Now, why Mauritius is, generally the most common? We must be aware that there is in Mauritius, there is a double taxation avoidance agreement. There are many DTAA. DTAA is with many countries, so do not confuse that DTA is only with Mauritius. There are many more reasons. There are questions like there are certainly certain issues related to taxes. So importance. So just have an idea that Mauritius is the most important destination, and it is also a most important destination of black money, which moves into the country. Negative inflation is also called. What is negative inflation? बहुत सारे आंसर्स आ रहे हैं. गुड. आई कैन सी मेनी ऑफ यू आर आंसरिंग. हाँ तो भाई और अच्छे से करते जाओ आंसर. Yes, many of you are answering it. Very good, very good. So what is that? It is deflation. Certainly, the correct answer is deflation. But if that is the case, what is disinflation? What is disinflation? Now, let's see what happens is. Suppose in the year 1, the rate is 100. So the rate of a commodity is 100. What happens is, in year 2, suppose the rate is 108. So what will be our graph? Our graph will be this, 108. So what happens in the third year, rate is 107. So what happens? This. Now, this is deflation. In the year 1 to 2, this is inflation. Year 2 to 3, this is deflation. Now, what happens in disinflation is that inflation is still there. Now, apart from this, suppose in the year 3, instead of 107, the price would have been 112. The price could have been 112. So what would have happened to the rate of inflation? For first year, rate of inflation would have been around 8%. And in the second year, it will fall down to around 3.8%. I hope you know how I got the value 3.8. 3.8% is 4 divided by 108. That is increase in the year 3 divided by the price in the previous year. So what happens? There is still the inflation, but inflation has decreased. So that is the idea. Disinflation is decrease in the rate of inflation, and deflation, that is negative inflation, is the inflation does not exist and inflation goes on the negative side, that is below 0. But in disinflation, inflation still exists above 0% mark, but it is slower than the earlier year. So that is the idea behind disinflation. Now a homework for you. What is reflation? Try to find out what is reflation. Reflation. That is a homework for you to be done at home. Question number 14. The co-founders of Google are. Very easy question. Let's see. I hope a lot of you, most of you must answer that. Yes. The correct answer is Larry Page and Sir Gibran. Easy question. Let's move on to question number 15. Which of the following public sector unit does not fall in the category of Navratna PSUs? Correct answer is what? Yes, I invite all of you to participate. It's certainly not a rock show going on here that you just have to hear and I'll speak. Of course, you can also speak. Let's sing the song together. Correct answer is SAIL, SAIL. So, for you, a homework, go to Wikipedia and search Maharatna. Maharatna. Point is, this page will give you all the details of Maharatnas, Navratnas and Mini Ratnas, category 1 and category 2. Overall, do find this. Okay. So overall, my idea is just have a proper reading of this page. Read all the Maharatnas names. Read some of the names which are in Navratnas. Basically, which are not in, which are in Navratna and are common in the day-to-day life. In Navratna category, there are many companies, but just try to remember some of the common names. Then move on to the Mini Ratna category. Just spend 10 to 15 minutes on this topic. You may certainly get one question from this area. Navratna, Maharatna. For Maharatna, learn all. For others, just have a read through and remember some common names. Like IRCTC. IRCTC is very common these days. Is it a Maharatna, it is a Navratna, or it is in Mini Ratna category, category 1 or category 2? Try to find out this answer. Okay, so such common names you should go on the Wikipedia page, all the details are given, just read it once. Spend 15 minutes. Question number 16. Which of the following statement does not relate to the concept of carbon credits? The correct answer is 16A. Let's not discuss more of this. Let's discuss rather more of this. It was by Kyoto Protocol. What is Kyoto Protocol? Just remember, just have a view that Kyoto Protocol was related to protection of pollution, to decrease of greenhouse gases in the environment. It was signed in 1997. It was started in 1997. And it is due to expire in 2012. But this year and from next year. And from next year, what is going to happen? From next year, what is going to happen? From next year there may be a certain different agreement which will be bound on many of the countries. Let's see what's going to happen. So by next 2-3 years, something like Kyoto Protocol may emerge. Question number 17. India Kyoto Protocol in which year? Factual question. बहुत ज़्यादा दिमाग लगाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Directly answer it or leave it. If you know the answer, tick or move on to the next question. 10 seconds. Read the question. You know it or you don't know it. So tick or move on to the next question. Now, column A, column B. Some of the famous personalities: Paul Krugman, Al Gore, Amartya Sen, and column B, of course, their traditional areas. Which of this can be matched? Al Gore is related to climate change, global warming. Very well. Amartya Sen is related to concept of equality, C.K. Prahlad, core competence of the corporation, Paul Krugman, very famous economist, international trade and geography. So this is the correct answer. I hope now from the option this can be sorted out. It was an easy question because of Al Gore and Paul Krugman are easy in this. Then question number 19, CEO and company. So currently also remember these some famous names. Question is easy. Nanarao Kidwai, Indra Nui is very famous, PepsiCo, Kiran Majumdar, Biocon, and Nanarao Kidwai, HSBC, Shikhar Sharma, Axis Bank. Question number 20. Some of the famous companies on the left side, and its place of origin on the right side. I hope you must be aware, Nokia to Finland, Volvo is to Sweden. Volvo, famous truck company, truck maker. LG is for South Korea. Toyota to Japan. So well, not very difficult question. So such questions are generally become easy with at least one hint you must be knowing. So if you know one hint at least, certainly questions become easy sometimes. Let's move on to IIFT 2010. From 10, find the correct one. Name the South Korean president who attended the Indian Republic Day Parade in 2010 as a chief guest. So 2010, you need the, if most of you are not knowing, just do not worry. This is about 2010. Not very important these days. Currently this year it is Shinawatra, Yingluck Shinawatra, but it was Lee Myung back in 2010. So not very difficult question, I guess. Question number 22. The Indian government auctioned the 3G spectrum in 22 telecom circles in 2010. Which three companies won the maximum number of circles in the auction? Now at that time it was A, B and C, but let's not be into it. Now recently Aircel had a deal with one company which was based in Malaysia, and now they have been involved in a scam. What is the name of that company? Yes, correct. Where a lot of you are able to answer. The name is Maxis. So such things you should be aware. Then famous company Uninor. Uninor's foreign, which company is the Uninor's foreign holder? Foreign stakeholder of Uninor. It is? Yes, a lot of you are giving correct answer. Telenor. It is from which country? Telenor is from which country? The name is given in the answer is given in the name of the company. Uninor. Nor. What is that Nor? Nor is Norway. So it is from Norway. Very good. A lot of you know that. Vodafone is from which country? Vodafone belongs to which country? Yes, a lot of you are giving it correct. UK. There has been a problem involved with Vodafone on a tax issue with Indian government. So it has been very much. Many of the UK legislators had also gone for this problem. Retro tax or retrospective taxing. Let's move on to question number 3. Which one of the following groups formed a joint venture in insurance sector? Recently also there have been some cases, so be aware of that. At that time, the correct answer was Canara Bank, HSBC and Oriental Bank of Commerce. So need not worry about this question. Just have an idea कि ऐसे question भी आते हैं. So have a look on these questions. Keep that in your mind. Certainly we will be giving a number of questions from the current areas in today's session at the end. Of course, very fresh new 90 questions in the next session. Now, question number 4 of 2010. Organization, its location and country. I would say hint For hint, look at location and the country. It's easy to locate these areas and the respective country. If you don't know about these, still question can be done. Brussels is to Belgium, it's easy. Vienna is to Austria, it's easy. Lyons, it also has a team. It also has a team which plays football. Lyons is France. Now Gland is a bit difficult, so rest we are still easy. Rest we are certainly not very, very difficult. So from this, I think you can sort out the answer. So such things you just don't. I know most of us won't be knowing everything in this, but knowing some things you can sort out the answers. Now, if you know that Brussels is in Belgium, that is 4:4. You can eliminate option 3 and option 4. Now you have only option 1 and option 2 left. Now we can then move on to 4:4. So what is next? So 2:1, that is for sure. Then Lyons is in France. Lyon 1:3. Now 1:3, both the options. Then what can be done next? Yes. From this, an easy point is OPEC, that's in Vienna. OPEC, that is in Vienna. And remember, the location of most of these organizations is mostly Geneva and Vienna to some. Geneva and Vienna are common in this. So Geneva and Vienna, just try that. So Vienna and Geneva. So what happens is Geneva and Vienna are mostly the location of many of the organizations. And remember, for the financial organizations like WTO, World Bank, Washington DC is the head. Washington DC. Washington DC for most of the economic organizations and Geneva and Vienna for others. So, it's not a 100% correct hint or tip. Rather, it's a tip which can be judicially used in some of the questions. Question number, next question number 5. Now this is a bit tough. At that time, this name was common, Ursula Burns, but still this was a tough question. But remember that most of the tech companies are based in California. So Yahoo can be sorted out as Yahoo California. So in all, if such questions, you don't know most of the hints, best thing is, leave ahead. So think the Dale Steyn is bowling in front of you. So if Dale Steyn is bowling, it's not easy to hit. Okay, these are the outswingers. There will be many outswingers in the whole match. So it's better not to touch those outswingers. And yes, a question is there, but what if you are Chris Gayle? Chris Gayle has a long bat, but he doesn't, still, Chris Gayle doesn't touch the ball outside the off stump. We're not very easy against Dale Steyn. We can still hit it in IPL. Okay, fine. Let's move on to question number 6. So it's better sometimes to leave such questions. But okay, fine. I still give you the right answer. The right answer is option number 4. The right answer is option number 4. Okay, so question number 6, acquiring company and the target company. Now again, a bit tough. Idea is, one hint that I got was UB by Shaw Wallace. Is it true? UB to Shaw Wallace. That was one thing. And still some of you are, if that will give you 2 options, 1 and 4. And if some of you still have a hint, RSM Ambit is an audit company. So that will certainly go to PwC. So PwC to RSM Ambit. So this will give us an answer 4. Question number 7. Toyota, BSNL, Airtel. Now I think it's easy. Airtel, express yourself. BSNL is connecting India. So B3 and C1. Is there any option? Yes, there is one option. That is C. Need not touch others. Toyota, Trump. These two very common countries of this country, very common companies of this country can give us the answer. Now, let's transportation area. We have hit one of the questions. Now, this question, NH7 is longest. It runs from Varanasi to Kanyakumari. You must be aware of this. This must be the hint. Point is, hint will come from some facts. Some basic facts are to be known. NH7 should be known by most of you. NH7 is the longest highway. Its length is 2361 kilometers. It runs from Varanasi to Kanyakumari. So certainly it will start from UP and will end up in Tamil Nadu. So NH7 will be 4. B will be 4. This has only one option. Okay. There are many new nomenclatures given to there is a new nomenclature, but still I say use the old one because most of the questions are based on the old one. Still, even on the roads, these are not very common, and these names are not common. It's still on the roads also. So still take the older one. Question number 9. So another fact base. Do we have an option? Bank of Baroda to Rahul Dravid. Common. Some of the times you can see him in the commercials. So D is to 1. So only one option. So that is the whole answer. So such questions can be easily sorted out by one of the hints. You need not know all the options, but just one can give you the answer. Yes. Next. Now left I have given the instruments, right, given the use of that. Now, my point is tough. This question, I still thought of many hints, but still doesn't have many hints. Question is a bit tough. So you know it or you don't know it. You must know at least one of the options. Very good. Some of you are giving it correct. Squid is related to magnetism. So A5, that leaves us with two options, 1 and 3. So any other point in it? Well, the correct answer is answer option 1. So if you want, you can mark it. But such questions, pure facts, not very easy to be sorted out. So just if you want, you can note it. Not many things are given in this question. Not very easy. So some questions we have to leave sometimes. So this is one of the questions which we can leave. So let's move on to the next question. Name the Indian state having maximum number of seaports. Correct answer is, what is the correct answer? Now recently there has been one more port which has been now added category of a major seaport. So in all, read these names, read all the names. Correct answer for this is Gujarat. Question number 12. The new names and old names of some South African countries. Yes, come on. Okay, so Rhodesia to Zimbabwe, this should be known. B:4, that leaves us with 3 options. And then Abyssinia with Ethiopia is also a bit, kind of fact. So this sort omit, so we can omit the option 4. We have reduced to options 1 and 2. Sorry, yes, options 1 and 2. Then rest is like, if you know actually the geography. To the north of Rhodesia, that is to the north of Zimbabwe, today Zambia is located, so that can be related to northern Rhodesia, that is C:2. So we get the correct answer as 2, that is B option. So well, not very easy question. It is moderately tough, and need not answer. As I said, now we need not answer every question. So just we can leave some of these bouncers or the outswingers. Okay. So next question. I hope this can be answered. Country and city can be connected, and then at least one river should be known. One river should be known. And one river can still be connected because of the names. Karnapuli is a new name among these European names, and this is connected to Chittagong. Chittagong is certainly, this is an easy option which will go to Bangladesh. So point is D:2. Is there any option? D:2. There is one option. And then there are still many other points. Poland to Warsaw, Portugal to Lisbon, Germany to Dresden. So not a very tough question. Points can still be sorted out. Okay. Now recently, just remember some of the names of the major countries that have been in the news. Syria has been in the news for wrong reasons. Capital of Syria maybe, or Middle East, from Middle East, many countries like Libya, Egypt, Syria, Jordan, Bahrain, Israel, these have been in the news recently because of the crisis going on in the West Asia and the Middle East Asia and the Middle East. So overall, just have a view of these countries, basically, a common name and the capital city, or maybe one major river. Most of them you must be knowing. Egypt certainly has Nile. In Iraq, Tigris and Euphrates. So such names, if just have a name. Then, question number 14 of 2010, epithet. I think, the most easy option in this is Chicago. What is Chicago? Chicago primarily called. Chicago has a nickname. What is that? Chicago has a nickname. Some of you are answering yes. Let's see how many of you can actually answer. A lot of them are writing yes. I'm getting many answers yes. भाई सब लोग आंसर करो. जागरण में आए हो क्या माता जी के? Yes. Good. A number of answers are coming. थोड़ा बोलना पड़ता है सबको. सब आंसर आना शुरू होते हैं. Give the answer or give at least Chicago. What is that called? Yes, Chicago is windy city. Chicago as windy city. So D:2, that leaves us with 2 options. That certainly gives us less problem. And then what is the other point in it? Now, Belgrade is actually the twin city, so, not very easy to remember. So in all, our correct answer is option 1. Quaker goes to Philadelphia, but it's very difficult. Question was not certainly very easy, moderately difficult. Let's see question number 15. State Bank of India, उसके पहले क्या बोलते थे? What was State of Bank of India? Yes, उस समय तीन ही मेजर एरियाज होते थे, बंगाल, बॉम्बे एंड मद्रास. नॉट अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट वन, बट थोड़ा सा सर्च लगाना पड़ेगा. सिंडिकेट, यूनियन बैंक वगैरह तो उस समय थे ही नहीं. एंड पॉइंट इज बैंक ऑफ Bengal, Bombay and Madras came together, and actually it was Bank of Calcutta. So at times, in many books you can read as Bank of Calcutta, which is also called Bank of Bengal. So overall, option is first. Now, easy question, very easy. Give the answer in 5 seconds. Most of you give the answers in 5 seconds. Emergency provision in the Constitution of India has been taken from which country? Yes, a lot of answers are coming. Good, good. New names are coming. Nischal Garg. Good, good. Now, of course, Nischal, your answer was not correct, but still, the correct answer is here. Germany. Very correct. Germany. Question number 17. Which one of the following parts established by government is relatively the latest one? Now, overall this one, my point is that such questions are very difficult to get answered at times. Even when I saw this question, tried to find out the answer. Well, I was not knowing this question when I first saw. I tried to find it on the web, and I did not get any significance. And at that time, well, if there had been any significance, I still don't understand. In the end, I would have avoided this question, because I still don't get a significance for this question, that why these four were so important and were they involved. Well, after finding out from the web, I found 2 is the correct answer, but still a very difficult question in some sense. Question number 18. Now, at that time, there was one popular chief minister from India, which had been given Dara Shikoh Award. I have given the hint. Popular chief minister from India, yes. सारे के सारे होशियार हो गए, खूब सारा आंसर दे रहे हैं. हाँ, कोई भी गलत आंसर नहीं दे रहा. जो गलत आंसर देगा उसका नाम सबसे पहले अनाउंस करूंगा मैं. लेट्स सी हु गिव्स द रॉन्ग आंसर. अच्छा, कोई नहीं दे रहा है. Okay, fine, good, good. A lot of you are giving the answer. Well, we have an answer called Sonia Gandhi. So, very good. Okay, fine. Let's move on to question number 19 then. Which one of the following Indian Union Territory has the Legislative Assembly as of 2010? Good question. At that time it was a good question. Let's see. There had been an election in one of the Union Territory. Which is the one? Number of answers have started to come up. जिनका नहीं आ रहा, जिनको जो आंसर नहीं लिखना चाह रहे, वो स्टिल आज एक तुक्का मार के देखो, तुक्का मार पा जाएंगे नहीं. आज देखते हो सकता है कुछ लोगों के दिन अच्छे हो. Let's see some of you. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. एक दो लोगों ने तो आंसर तीनों के तीनों आंसर दे दिए. इन तीनों में से कोई एक है. Let's see those who are not regularly giving answer. Let's see if you can give guess. देखते हैं आज आपका देर अच्छा जा रहा है कि नहीं. सिक्का उछाल के देखिए. हेड पे एक कर दीजिए, टेल पे दूसरा. Well, correct answer is Puducherry. Of course, many of you have given the correct answer. Very good, very good. Question number 20. Now, governor names, certainly a bit difficult to remember all of them, but 1 or 2 of them can be remembered. But if you are trying to match by column 2 and column 3, well, it's certainly not easy because of the options. In the options, 3 options have these union territory and capital as common. So governor name was very important in this question. If you don't know that, it was actually difficult. Correct answer for this is well, many of them have been removed recently, so certainly not very significant today, but of course you must be aware of some names which have been in common as Chief Minister or Governor of the states. Now, considering about remembering the name of governors and CMs, now certainly you must be remembering some major names at least, and if it would be very good that if you know name of the governors, because CM's name, most of them actually know that. Most of them actually know it. So such questions become easy. For tough question to get answered, governor's name should be important. So some of the names, actually, many names are very common. So you need not actually spend a lot of time. You need not have to spend a lot of time. It will be an exercise of 10 to 15 minutes and, it can be learned. Not very difficult because some names are very common. So let's move on to question number 21. UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2018. Which of these were added? The correct answer is Jantar Mantar. Now this Jantar Mantar is not of Delhi, this is of Jaipur. So do not get confused. Jaipur wala Jantar Mantar was included in UNESCO World Cultural Heritage list, and all of the four are actually in this list. So when the question is about 2012, Jantar Mantar, Jaipur, but in actual World Cultural Heritage list, all the four are there. So question number 22. Now, question number 22 is not very significant right now because most of them have been changed. So rather we would still go for, just have an idea that such questions can be asked. So currently remember the name of the heads. Question number 23. Which one of the following state is having maximum number of SEZ notified under the SEZ Act 2005? So question is factual. बहुत ज्यादा दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है कि ये जोड़ देंगे या वो जोड़ देंगे तो आंसर आ जाएगा. Okay, you know or you don't know, correct answer is Karnataka with 32 SEZ. It leads the chart. Sorry, correct answer is Andhra Pradesh with 32. It leads the chart. Correct answer is Andhra Pradesh with 32. It leads the chart. Question number 24. Now some common soap brands of the country and the company associated with them. Well, yes, Santoor is a common soap brand by Wipro. So that leaves us with option 2 and 4. Then another one that is still yes. Any options? Margo. Margo goes with Henkel. That is another point. It was certainly not an easy one, but some of you might be knowing Hamam to Hindustan Unilever. So in all, these can be sorted out. Correct answer is option 2. So let's move on to question number 25. Country, parliament, currency. Now not an easy question because only one is the answer. Japan to yen is easy. But beyond that, it's not easy to actually sort this answer out. Japan, yen. Yes. So, Japan, yen. Japan currency is yen. Israel's currency is new shekel. Now overall my idea is that the question is not very easy. So if we link Japan is to yen, that is B is to 1, we have all the 4 options left. So that cannot be. Israel is to new shekel, and still to some extent I would say some of you who must be having a just better knowledge can actually relate to Japan is to Dite and Israel is to Nefet. These two are very, very common. But I still say not very common, like our parliament or Washington or the US related to US or UK, but still the parliament of Japan and Israel are still sometimes in the news. Israel actually gets in the news many a time, and Japan also. So these can be linked. Overall, this depends on your pure fact. If you know the fact, if you are aware of the events, then you can actually connect it. Correct answer for this is still. What is the correct answer for this? Correct answer is option 2. Sweden, Riksdag, Krona. Israel, Nefet and shekel. Japan, Dite and yen. And Poland, zloty. So these options can be used and we can get the answer. Okay, just sort out the answer. I am seeing many giving option 4. Okay, I might have not seen it well correctly, 2 or 4. Okay, you can just sort it out. Not very difficult now. Israel, Nefet, new shekel, Poland to zloty, Sweden to krona, Japan, Dite yen. These are easy things. Okay. So just sort out the answer. Question number 26. Name the sports personality who was not the ambassador for the Commonwealth Games 2010. So what was the answer? At that time, Tejaswini Sawant was not so famous. These three were still have MC Mary Kom was many time world champion. Sushil Kumar had won a medal at 2008 Beijing Olympics. Samresh Jung, one of the ace shooters from India. In all, Tejaswini Sawant at that time was not. Now, something about Ratnas and Maharatnas and Navratnas. Well, not very difficult. Sale is to Maharatna. So A is to 2. That leaves us with 2 options. And which one of this is Navratna? GAIL is a Navratna company. So overall D4. So C1, D3. From these two you must know one. It's easy because BSNL is more common than HMT. BSNL is better. So BSNL is Mini Ratna 1 and HMT is Mini Ratna 2. That can be linked. Answer can be found out. So correct answer is option 2. Question number 28. Which country has a maximum share in FDI equity flow in India as of June 2010? Now I still say currently you must know. If you don't know this question, if you don't know the answer, just leave it. Not very difficult. Because, but current data should be known. Current data should be known. Question number 29. Now, related to current. Times Now, CNBC, the name Times, what is written in Times of India newspaper? Every day, have a check. Bennett Coleman and Company Limited, B should be 1. That leaves us with 2 options, 2 and option 4. So what is next? C is 4, certainly. Star News go to Anand Bazar publication, and Star News has become ABP News recently. If you No, ABP News. Recently Star has become ABP News. Anand Bazaar publication. So what is left? Aaj Tak goes to India Today Group. Is it? Yes. And CNBC to Raghav Behel. So overall, correct option is option 2. Okay. Now, let's move on to some current questions. We saw some of the previous questions, now some fresh questions. Let's see, current awareness. I would like at least 100 answers from this, for this. These are fresh questions. Now, we have a number of questions right now, 15 today and 90 tomorrow. They are rather 3-4 days after Diwali. Yes, a lot of you are giving answers, and Raghav Singla is given the answer at least 10 times, so it will not be counted as 10, it will be counted as 1 only. Now I think he has given 20 times. He is to be nullified now. God, a lot of them are giving the answers. Tapanjeet has started to give multiple answers. Well, still, overall, Kaushik Basu is the correct answer, and it is an easy question. Well, most of you must have known this. Do not try to ponder around here and there, and it was not a very difficult question, I presume. Question was easy. Now, the man responsible for bringing white revolution in India, those who will not be able to answer should be thrown out. Those who don't answer should be thrown out. Very easy, should not be even considered. Now, next. Recently, these are from the recent areas. Recent areas. Question number 3. Again, an easy question. Let's see what's the answer. I hope you know the answer. The correct answer is Sachin Pilot. The driver of McLaren who became the winner of Italian Grand Prix 2012. Recently it has happened. So who is the McLaren driver? The correct answer is, I have given you the hint, McLaren driver, it is Lewis Hamilton. The correct answer is Lewis Hamilton. Where was this summit held? No, very important. NAM was held recently, and India is a very important country in this. Correct answer is Tehran. And who was the country who hosted it? Of course, it is Iran. And what is the name of the president of Iran who had been the host of this NAM summit? That is Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Okay, fine. So I would still say remember some of these names like Iran's president, then Syria's leader. What is the name of the leader of Syria? Name of the leader of Syria? Yes, Bashar al-Assad. Many of you are giving the correct answer. Now some of you are giving Gaddafi also. Well, Gaddafi is dead over 1 year back. Gaddafi was from Libya. Currently, who is the Prime Minister of Egypt? Recently, these are some of the names which have been important in India. But for India also, it is important. Yes, some answers are coming correct. Very good. Mohammad Morsi. Very good. Hosni Mubarak. Still Hosni Mubarak. Hosni Mubarak तो चले ही गए. भगवान को नहीं प्यारे हुए, बस होने वाले हैं. Okay. So, still many other countries still. And who is the President, Prime Minister of Pakistan? Who is the Prime Minister of Pakistan? Okay. Raza Ashraf. Okay. Then who is going to be the head of China in next few days or few months? Who is going to be the next head of China? Now, remember in this point there is a difference in this. In many of the books it is given Xi Jinping. I know Xi Jinping is correct, but remember that Xi Jinping is going to be the president of the country, and there are two positions at the topmost. There is a president and there is also a premier. So Xi Jinping is going to be the president and Li Keqiang is going to be the premier. Remember this. I am writing it on the chat box. Li Keqiang is also very important because he is going to be the premier. He will replace currently Premier Wen Jiabao, and Xi Jinping will be the president who will replace Hu Jintao. Okay, so Li Keqiang is the one who is going to be the premier and Xi Jinping will become the president. So just do not get confused. Now, there are some more countries which have seen, US could have seen, but yes, Barack Obama is certainly back. Well, who was the presidential candidate from Republican Party? Okay, that is an easy question. Do not worry. Those who are giving the correct answer should not pat their back because it was not a difficult question. Now, who was his running mate? Who was his running mate? Okay, some of you are giving the correct answer. Some of you, okay, one of them has given Obama as the running mate. Well, it's Paul Ryan, certainly. Now, the party, which party is called GOP? Which party is called GOP? तो आंसर आने कम हो गया लगता है, लोगों को नहीं पता है. GOP is Grand Old Party. Its full form is Grand Old Party. It is the Republican Party. Okay, so it is the Republican Party. So just be aware of that. Mitt Romney was from the Republican side. That is Grand Old Party. They have lost the elections continuously for the second time. जॉर्ज बुश ने इतना अच्छा काम कर ही दिया था कि कोई उसको वापस लाने की आज हिम्मत भी नहीं करता उसकी पार्टी को भी. Well, we know the most, one of the greatest president of United States, George W. Bush. Okay, so any other countries who saw the change? Vladimir Putin from Russia. We saw the change in Russia. He became the president. There is a question regarding this, that in Russia, the prime minister became the president and president became the prime minister. So this is a unique case. In most of the country it doesn't happen, but the prime minister became the president and president became the prime minister. So that is important. And well, with France, Francois, very important. France, Francois Hollande, he became the head. Then from African countries, just have a look also that where the problem was there. In Sudan and North Sudan and South Sudan, there was a problem. Now South Sudan has been separated. Its capital is Juba. And just remember the names from Africa also, other than South Sudan. Then we can of course have a look at Libya, who is heading the Libya right now. Just have the name. Actually it is Mahmoud Jibril. But just keep on the views, keep on the updates, because there we can expect things to change very fast. So we have covered most of these countries. Let's move on to next. Software company of India which acquired Lodestone. Lodestone is a Swiss firm. What is the name of the software company? Question is easy. Recently. Yes. So very correct. Most of you are giving the correct answer. The correct answer is yes. Infosys. One of the largest recruiter in the country. Then a state-owned bank which had opened its first branch in South Africa. In a move to enhance the relationship between South Africa and India. Recently, who has opened? कुछ लोग सही आंसर दे रहे हैं, कुछ लोग गलत दे रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोग गलत दे रहे हैं. And yes, I will invite all of you to participate. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग हाथ दबाओ. I hope मेहंदी नहीं लगी है ज़्यादा लोगों को आज. I see very few girls to be participating here. ओके। मुझे पता है बहुत लोगों को घर जाना है, देर हो रही है, लेकिन अब कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ेगा। और स्वर्ग उसे ही मिलता है जो मरता है। तो स्वर्ग पाने से पहले एक बार मरना तो पड़ता ही है। स्वर्गवासी ऐसे नहीं बनते हम। तो स्वर्ग चाहिए तो ऑफ कोर्स। ओके, सो लेट्स राइट सम ऑफ द थिंग्स। ओके, कुछ तो आंसर आ रहे हैं अच्छे खासे। असर होता है इन सब बातों का, थोड़ा सा चेंज करना पड़ता है, लेकिन आ जाते हैं आंसर। ओके, करेक्ट आंसर इज बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। करेक्ट आंसर इज बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। Question number 8. Name the person who has appointed the new chairman of High Level Committee on Financing Infrastructure. Who was the one who has been appointed the new chairman of High Level Committee on Financing Infrastructure on 16 July 2012? Recently. Who is the one? Yes, correct answer is Deepak Parekh. Correct answer is Deepak Parekh. Now, recently which Hindi news channel acquired English news channel Newsec? Which one? Newsec has been acquired by one of the news channels recently. Which Hindi? Good Morning India, India News, Aaj Tak, Information TV. Or fifth option I can give, India TV, the most ridiculous channel in this whole world. Yeah, fifth option, do not forget, India TV. They can still give such news. Okay, well, the correct answer about this is, okay, jokes apart, serious way is Information TV, that is the ITV. The largest producer of gold in the world is? Who has become the largest producer of gold in the world? As I told in the other classes, जब बड़ा, बहुत बड़ा, ज्यादा, इस तरह का कुछ नाम आ जाए, तो चाइना लगा दो. All of you are giving China. Yes, it's certainly China. China has become the largest producer as well as consumer of gold. It has surpassed India on the consumption line and it has surpassed South Africa on the production line. So, चाइना जितने गोल्ड मेडल दुनिया अलग अलग स्पोर्ट्स इवेंट्स में जीतते हैं, लगता है वो सारा उन्होंने मेल्ट करके बेचना भी शुरू कर दिया है. इतना सारा वैसे भी जीत जाते हैं ये लोग हर गेम में. If you remember in Asian Games they had won close to 200 gold medals, 199 gold medals. Okay, so 199 gold medals. India won total of 65 medals. I don't know what they play. ऐसा लग रहा था कि उनका नेशनल गेम्स ऑफ चाइना इज गोइंग ऑन एंड सम अदर कंट्रीज हैव बीन इनवाइटेड टू जस्ट सी सम ऑफ द मैचेस. They won 199 medals. I still cannot forget. Okay, fine. Now there is a point that gold medals are gold plated. It is actually silver. Okay, fine. There are 6, but still there is 6 gram of gold in every gold medal. So just do not worry. 6 gram, but still multiplied by 200 is 1200 grams. That is 1.2 kilo won by China in the Asian Games. That's still too much, more than 40 lakhs of cost. Okay, so let's move on to the next. The pressure of US sanction on Iran is evident from the fact that now Indian refiners are focusing on other crude producing countries. Which has become the second largest supplier of crude oil to India? Which country has become the second largest supplier of crude oil to India? Correct answer is Iran. Do not worry about, something, अगर कुछ fact पता हो, पहले Iran was the third largest. So this could have been the most probable answer, but then if you don't know this, certainly it's not an easy data to get. But Iraq, it was in the news also that many a days. अब जो लोग इंडिया टीवी देखते होंगे, of course उनको नहीं पता चलेगा. You have to see a good news channel like Times Now or maybe NDTV or maybe CNBC. Question number 12. World's largest and busiest airport is? Which is the world's largest and busiest airport right now? Busiest port, sorry, not airport. World's largest and busiest. Correct answer is, I still say, hint is, it's in China. Largest, सबसे बड़ा सब चाइना में ही होता है. Well, correct answer is Shanghai. Very correct. Shanghai. And Ningbo Zhoushan is also very close. Ningbo Zhoushan is also very close, and it's just 4% down from its total overall volume is just 4% less than Shanghai. So, okay, so that is Shanghai, which city? That is Shanghai. Now there is a question by Safanjeet Nakhtar, which is the largest exporter of crude oil to India. It is generally Saudi Arabia to most of the countries. To India also it is Saudi Arabia. India has a very large negative balance of payment with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia sends everything to India. Well, we get everything from Saudi Arabia. So, well, let's see. India is also has taken many expeditions if we can find some of the crude oil areas in India. Now, question number 13, easy from the last. MFN status has been given by our all-time friend, our all-weather friend, all-weather enemy, Pakistan. Be it on the cricket match, be it on borders, they are of course right behind us, but they have given MFN status. So just do not worry that if we are going to actually get profit from this, they are actually one thing that has not been very pleasant for India, because MFN with Pakistan will not actually benefit India to a large extent. Okay, question number 14. So Republic Day Parade. This question was asked in 2010. It on the same line, which is the one right now. Yes, Thailand. Correct answer is Thailand. The name of the Prime Minister was Yingluck Shinawatra. Okay, she is the sister of former Prime Minister of Thailand, Mr. Thaksin Shinawatra. He is the sister, not daughter of Thaksin Shinawatra. With which sport is Veer Dhawan Khade associated? Which sport is Veer Dhawan Khade associated? The correct answer is, yes, some of you have given correct, some of you have given wrong answer. The correct answer is swimming. The correct answer is swimming. He is one of the ace Indian swimmers from India. Okay, so that was last question from this. Now, next session, do remember that, because right now, today many of you must have given the examination of IRMA, and then again today is Dhanteras. We still expected not a lot of students, but still you turned up in good numbers, more than 200 were there, and we have still reserved most of the lot of the fresh questions for the next session. And because of the Diwali, I know many of them could not attend the class because of Diwali. They have been on train. There have been many mails to us that many of them are traveling. So just another 90 questions, fresh questions to be produced in front of you, 20 from the last. And yes, about the PPT, tomorrow the PPT will be uploaded. Exam is not tomorrow. I hope with IRMA, I just want to ask you, many of you wanted IRMA PPT. I had personally mailed it to many of you, and still if anyone could not get it, on Facebook it was uploaded, I had personally sent the mail. It was also sent as DCC from Pratiksha Singh from Survey Launcher also. So I hope most of you must have got that. And well, IRMA PPT, some of the questions can still be helpful in IFT questions. So just IRMA paper, IRMA के questions को आप just एक बार देख लीजिएगा. the seat for half an hour. And yes, I would say do not miss the next session. We'll extend it to 3 hours or maybe beyond, but we'll have those full 60 questions analysis from the recent time. Take 30 questions for your practice because there will be another 10 days. And then of course you can contact me on the mail, and for GK query, contact me, Rajat at rajat.sen@relauncher.com. I'm always there to respond to you, and well, do wait for reply for 24 hours. 24 hours पहले खूब सारे मेल मत कर दिया करो यार, बहुत सारा इनबॉक्स भर जाता है, तो बहुत सारे रिप्लाई नहीं हो पाते हैं. And well, about the second session, it will be on the website tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Because of the Diwali, the session has been pushed back. Possibly it will be on 16th, but soon it will be. But wait for the final declaration tomorrow. Just have a link at the website. Tomorrow be there to collect your IIFT GK this session's recording, and of course the day for the next session. Okay, thanks for your time, and keep in touch with CM. Okay, bye. Thank you very much.